Hello everyone, Cliff here. So I was getting ready to start my whole writing advice thing, and I will do that, don't get me wrong. It's going to start. I'm going to give y'all some of my writing advice over the course of a few videos, such as how to deal with writer's block, and how to deal with writing characters, and the best way to write TF, stuff like that. I will get to that, but before I do, I learned something today. It's the 10th anniversary of the Witcher series. And y'all might think, well, why is that a big deal? I mean, you don't write about The Witcher. Well, no, I don't. But Witcher was a huge influence on some of my stories, and I feel it's necessary that I take this time out to talk to y'all a little bit about what The Witcher means to me. For those of you who aren't aware, The Witcher is a game series starting with The Witcher, then Witcher 2, then Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It's a series of games. It takes place in a medieval land, most likely medieval Poland, based on the lore around it. And you follow the adventure of Geralt of Rivia, a Witcher. Now, a Witcher is a human who, at a young age, is mutated to have monster-like characteristics, usually seen through cat-like yellow eyes. They have enhanced strength, enhanced metabolism, enhanced speed. They're the perfect monster killer. They're the perfect beast slayer. But because of their mutated nature, people have mixed responses to them. And as you play as Geralt going through the world, you take odd jobs and kill monsters, you help people with their problems, or you don't help them, you become sort of an anti-hero, you do what you want. Whatever the case, it's a very open world style game where you are the master of your own destiny, you lead Geralt through his adventures in your own way, using your silver sword to deal death to monsters and your steel sword to slay anyone who gets in your way. It is a very fun game. I enjoy playing it. It's a very hard game, too. It's very easy to die if you don't know what you're doing. It takes a lot of thought, a lot of preparation. But yeah, preparation is very key in this game. It's actually one of the first games that taught me, you can't just run in sword swinging for some parts of the game. You do have to prep, like make potions, make oils, wait for certain times of day. There's a lot that goes into playing Witcher. So yeah, it's a very fun game, one of the more challenging games I've ever played. I still love it to this day. In fact, I kind of want to play it again. So you're probably wondering, okay, so why does this matter to me? Like, why should this make a big deal in your stories? One of my most popular stories and one of my favorite stories that I work on is The Night Angel. And The Night Angel was heavily influenced by The Witcher. In fact, in many ways, I would compare the Night Angel idea to the idea of a Witcher. I have taken a lot of ideas like the swordsmanship that she learns from, the idea of deities not being really gods but being creatures themselves. Took that from Witcher. The different weaknesses and ways of fighting monsters. Borrowed that from Witcher. Witcher definitely influenced the Night Angel. Not only that, but a lot of the morality questions that Witcher raises. One of the professors that me and my brother took, a very wise law professor, actually played Witcher, and he said it's one of the more adult game series. It's not one of these games where there's a clear, defined good, defined bad guy. It's so much more unique than that. It's so much more adult than that. Because there are none. There are no clear cut good guys. I mean, sure, you can have Geralt take the better route, the lesser of two evils, as he calls it. But at the same time, even the decisions he makes don't always have a happy conclusion. And I'll give you a great example. There's actually a scene, and it's a small scene, it's not a major story related scene, where you meet this herbalist and she's dealing with a sick patient, and the girl's going to die from her wounds. She's dying a very slow and painful death. Geralt could give her a special witcher's potion called Swallow, which could heal her. The problem is it's a 50-50 chance. I mean, sure, she could be healed, but more likelihood is she'll die from it because witcher potions aren't meant for people. She'd die in excruciating pain. And even if it does heal her, there's a chance it may leave lasting effects on her. So you have a choice. Do you give it to her or do you not? If you don't, well, that's kind of a crappy thing to do. If you do, great, she does get healed. But you find out later that she's almost in a soulless state. She's in a catatonic state because of a lasting effect from the potion. And then, of course, there's a war going on in the world of Witcher 3. There's a war going on around you, but there's no clear-cut good guy. I mean, both kings are kind of assholes, you know? It's very hard to, and that's why the title, one of the big phrases that Geralt says is in the trailer is
evil is evil. Lesser, greater, middling, makes no difference.
Come fit me!
Bring her down. Do it my way.
You like that, you bitch?
Get the hammer.
Kick her teeth in.
The degree is arbitrary, the definition's blurred. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all.
it's a very adult game. It's a very mature game, and I think a lot of the morality questions and things that I raise in my stories got influenced by The Witcher in several ways. For example, you see some of that in Monster Club, the question of what defines a monster and what defines a person. Should prejudice be labeled just because of what you are or where you come from or any of those things? And not just in Monster Club. I could also associate it with such things as wishful thinking. The concept of power and what you do with that power genuinely matters and defines who you are. When you're the Witcher, when you're Geralt, you have all this power and this notoriety. What do you do with that? You could do anything you wanted. And you do. You have that power in The Witcher. You can go the quest however you want. You can take jobs however you want to do them, and there are lots of big choices you have to make. Do you let a person die because they did something reprehensible, or do you save them even if they're or do you save them from a fate worse than death because it would be the right thing to do? What is the right thing to do in that situation? It's up to you to decide. And sometimes quite often it's not a simple thing to decide. I really like the maturity of that. Because of that, I want to say this about The Witcher, and then I'll go ahead and end the video. Witcher is, to me, a fantastic game, but more than just a game, it is a source of inspiration for those who enjoy questions of the moral, the ethical, and the fantastical. If you love Monster Club and you love Night Angel, you'll love Witcher. It's such a great game, such a great premise. And, I really encourage y'all to at least check out the story. The game is based around a series of books, which I would recommend you go read. They're really great. They are such good books. And as I've been talking, you've probably been watching some of the trailers and video clips from The Witcher in the background. I really hope y'all are enjoying the look of it, because just the look of it kind of gives me this image of what a Night Angel would do, what Rebecca will do later on in the story of the Night Angel. So, yeah, like I said, congratulations to the Witcher series for making it to 10 years. Happy birthday to the Witcher series. It's been a fun ride, a very great series of games, and a wonderful source of inspiration. If you haven't played it yet, I recommend you go check it out. And if not, well, I hope you enjoyed this video anyway. And if you didn't, well, don't worry. In a few days, I will have a new video out with my advice on writing. Okay, that about sums it up. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Been through hell and high water, you and me. Fact is, you know me better than anyone else does. Actually, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Thanks for everything. And know we all miss you, old friend. So, might be my birthday, but I say, here's to you. Now, tell us how you're doing.